was about to say something I didn't want to say.
Hey, welcome everybody tonight to Magic Manzo's ARCA series. This is the Warren's Kid Ligma 100, and I promise you, if you don't know what that means, I really don't know what that means, but hey, they pay me to say certain things, and I'm going to say them. So welcome to the Warren's Kid Ligma 100. We're at Iowa Speedway here tonight. The series is brought to you by Flexible Freight Solutions. We do got a guest announcer up here with us this evening, old Eddie Smith. How's it going this evening, feller?
Hey, Patty D, man, good to be here. Glad to be with you in the booth, man. It's called this exciting ARCA race.
Yeah, it should be a lot
What
of.
was it called again? I'm sorry, Pat, I missed that.
Yeah, we're gonna get through it though together. This is the Warren's Kid Ligma 100.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Not sure what I nailed, but nailed it. It should be a lot of great racing here tonight. As we were talking beforehand, Eddie, Iowa's one of my favorite tracks. I love coming here. I think it's a lot of fun. It's typically a night race, so a lot of grip in the track. And these ARCA cars, as we were seeing a little bit in practice, really were able to hook up and go and make a lot of time around this track. But I think you got a different opinion of Iowa.
It's I love watching the races. It's just not one of my favorite tracks to drive. It's I can't really pinpoint. I think it's just I just haven't had a whole lot of luck here. I think that's normally what makes the tracks my favorite, whether or not I do well at them or not.
Sure.
So I think it's a fun track though. It's really fast. I mean, you got a couple lanes you can use, which is always fun. So it puts on great racing, and that's exactly what I expect to see tonight.
I expect the same as well. Some great racing here. These ARCA boys always put on a good show. We're about halfway through the season at this point in time, in the second half of the season, so only a handful of races left until the playoffs. So a lot of guys still trying to position themselves for those playoffs. And we'll have to see how it kind of all shakes out here this evening. But we do have cars coming on the starting grid here, so we'll start going through that. So our pole winner here this evening is going to be Andrew Kurtz in the number 8 machine from BK Motorsports with a lap time of 24.054. So congratulations to him. Starting to his outside is going to be Brandon Wallace, the number 99 from Reaper Racing. And Eddie, we had a really good talk about Brandon right before the race. What a guy. What a guy.
Top notch, top shelf fella.
Starting third is that other feller from JC Motorsports, Jonah Colbert, in that number 31 machine. Starting at his outside is going to be Travis Bieber in that 114 from BKM Racing. Starting fifth is Todd Schott in the number 426. Starting to his outside is Jason Matthew in that number 19 machine. Starting seventh is Josh the Jet Oswald from Full Send Racing in the number 17. Starting eighth is Alan Wernicke in the number 72. Ninth, Justin Hendry in the number 85 machine. Starting 10th is Dave Jones, one of the Goat Locker affiliated racing drivers for Salty Dog Motorsports. Starting 11th is going to be Mickey Isaac in that 01. Starting 12th is going to be Josh Thompson in the number 3. Starting 13th, another Goat Locker Racing affiliated driver, Jacob Ellickson in at number 27, also from Salty Dog Motorsports. Starting 14th is James Goodwin in at number 11. 15th, Charles Stevens Jr. in that 88, and I'll turn it over to you.
All right, well, it's my pick of the night, starting 16th in that Mississippi State Bulldogs Impala SS. It's Aaron Adcock starting 16th. Hitman Manzo starting 17th. Matt Kleeman starting 18th. Jason Lottridge starting 19th. Starting 20th, Brandon Pollock. Starting 21st, Michael Morrison. Starting 22nd, Eric Burkhalter. Chuck Peg Leg Phelps starting 23rd. Fan favorite Colton Lanford starting 24th. William Griffith starting 25th. Charlie Gates 26th. Nolan Green 27th. Tyler Rice 28th. Butch Taylor 29th. 30th Spencer Gay. 31st Adam Lange. And bringing up the rear, 32nd Gene Watkinson.
A lot of drivers to get through, isn't it?
Ooh. Relatively easy names tonight, so I'm proud of that.
Yep. For us with only 7th grade educations, we do appreciate the easy names.
Wow, you made it 7th.
Yeah, it's Midwest versus the South.
Bragging.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I really didn't even really mean to bring that up on air, but the pace car has pulled off, and so we're getting ready to get underway here. Green flag is out, and we are underway, and Andrew Kurtz gets a great start there with Jonah Colbert right behind him. Doesn't quite look like Brandon Wallace was ready for the start there. He's now being challenged for second place by that 31 machine.
Yeah, definitely didn't get a good start, but Brandon's a really smart racer. It may have been one of those things where, but I thought maybe he was going to chill out, but he's looking to the outside of Jonah Colbert, trying to get a little bit of advantage, trying to get that second spot. So may have just got, like you said, just a bad start.
As we watch, a lot of the field is still running 2x2 right here, and we're definitely going to see a couple different lines. Turns 3 and 4 tends to be a little bit of a higher line, especially keeping that car wound up. Car will tend to step out a little bit coming off of 4 as we see Brandon Wallace get loose again. We see another car go around that time. Not sure who went around right there. We stay under green, though.
It looks like Ellingson and Todd Schott, both of them. Todd Schott was the first one to go around in his Crimson Tide car. He's trying to get it back going.
As this has definitely changed up the running order here, but that is one of the things at Iowa on cold tires, especially through 3 and 4. These cars will step out from underneath you.
Absolutely, yeah. Off the corner, especially off the low side, you can really get on the throttle on these cars. And early on, when the tires are super cold, you're out there running laps by yourself. It's really easy to not spin out. But if you're under someone trying to make that pass, you give it just a little bit too much throttle, and that could be all the difference in you making the pass or you spinning, facing the wrong direction.
As we head back up front here, Jonah Colbert has moved his way around Andrew Kurtz, taking control of this race, as we still see Brandon Wallace falling back through the field. He's all the way back to 5th at this point in time, and now under fire from Josh Ted Oswald.
Yeah, he's there. You see so many back ends coming
Yeah.
off of 4 there. I did the whole field. It's like they're doing it on purpose. But after a couple laps, this ARCA car is it's just so known to get tight really, really quick with the setups they run. This is normally a D-class car, I believe, and they normally run these setups tighter and tighter as you get down in the licenses. So it'll tighten up real quick if you're not careful. So it's important in these cars you don't overdrive it. You really take care of those tires. It's going to mean a difference.
Yeah, and as you were pointing out, we've seen a lot of drivers coming off 4 just waving hi to the crowd. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're just, waving hi to them, but that is really going to start to heat up that right rear, and it's going to just compound the issues further into the run. But looking like a lot more of these cars are steady at this point in time, not seeing a whole lot of waving to the fans. Still a lot of great racing back through the field here as we take a look at our 10th place runner, Vicky Isaac right now, kind of running by himself. Jason Lottridge back there in the 11th position, working his way up the field. Pretty cool looking 48 machine.
Yeah, I like that. So it looks like a little Punisher scheme. I like that. It looks fun. He's our biggest mover right now. Been able to take advantage of a couple incidents, but like I said at the beginning of the race, I got my eye on the points leader, Aaron Adcock. He's taking his time back here in that Mississippi State Chevrolet, and I think he's going to make some moves through the field as we get to towards the end of this race.
And that's typically what we see out of Aaron is he'll come on later in the run and just he'll creep up into the top 5 and start talking about him a little bit, and then he'll get up there and start battling. But a good-looking car here this evening, running back in 12th place. I think just taking his time as we've now completed 10 laps here tonight of our scheduled 100. Looks like our leaders are going to start running into a little bit of lap traffic here. I think that lap traffic is an Alabama car there, Eddie.
Yep, we got the Oklahoma State car with Jonah Colbert and the Alabama car. They're going to race it out. I think Jonah's Oklahoma State car. I love. Of course, I'm a big fan of orange. A lot of my schemes.
Yeah.
And their orange is a really nice color, so I always like his schemes when they do an Oklahoma State scheme.
As that is Todd Schott in that Alabama machine, one of the cars that had a little bit of fun coming off of turn 4. Got it corrected now, but he's going to be fighting to stay on the lead lap as Jonah Colbert continues to make up time on him here. So we'll have to see how long he's going to be able to hold on to the lead lap, as I'm sure the tires on that car are not in the greatest condition after that big slide to start the race.
Yeah, you could see once he spun out, he was just having trouble just getting it back going. He heated him up so bad, so he's going to be behind the 8-ball for a while here.
Yeah, as we continue to lap under green here, 14 laps complete of our scheduled 100. This is Magic Manzo's ARCA series, brought to you by Flexible Freight Solutions. Now that's a tongue twister right there. That one gets me every week. Don't know why.
Tough one. I'm not even going to try. I can barely put normal words together. I can't put all that together.
Yeah, it's a little much. Well, I mean, I guess at least it's not the Warren's kid ligamo. Somebody's going to have to tell us about that. I'm not sure who.
I honestly think it's funnier if I just don't know.
I suppose you make a solid point there. And I don't have all the fancy-dancy chat stuff open that Jamie would normally have open to engage with our audience here. So if somebody happens to be typing an answer, I'm just not going to see it until later on.
Well, we got a ligma, and then a ellipses, and then a crying, laughing emoji. So no answers just yet. So we're just gonna just keep going. We'll see if we can get some later on. Y'all in chat, I see there's about 7 of you. Y'all let us know.
Todd Schott's doing a pretty good job of keeping that 31 machine behind him so he can stay on the lead lap. But I promise you, him and his pit crew right now are screaming for a caution so we can get caught back up to the field here. But this race has really got itself a pretty good green flag look to it. Not a whole lot of side-by-side racing going on right now. Brandon Wallace continues to drop back to the field as he is back to 9th position right now and is going to come under fire from Jason Lottridge and Mickey Isaac here soon.
Yeah, it's been a really good little group of racing going on back here with you know, it's so tough I think to pass. Just talking about being loose off the corners, just the back end wanting to step out, it's just hard to really race for a long time. Some tracks you can do that with, but it feels like here, once you get side by side with somebody, you have to you know, figure it out quick, because you just don't have a whole lot of time to make those passes. So
as we continue to look back to the field, we'll check in on our good buddy Charles Stevens Jr. as he's sitting back in the 13th position right now, only up a couple of spots from where he started, but still running himself a solid race here. Right behind him is James Godwin and that number 11 machine. And then Brandon Pollock, that one's on me. Pollock back in the 04 machine, up in 15th position. We'll check in on our favorite Marine, Chuck Pegleg Phelps, and the number 75 machine, as he's worked his way up 6 spots now, and he's up in the 17th position. So some guys that started in the back have made some progress forward, but hasn't been a whole lot thus far.
Yeah, a lot of green over here on my timing screen, and Adam Lange right behind them is one of the biggest movers so far. Him and Jason Lottridge are you know, running neck and neck as far as how many cars they passed. But he seems to be on the move, making up a bunch of spots. He's got Matt Clement right in front of him. He's starting to put a little pressure on him. So definitely we'll keep an eye on Adam Lange. He was really fast the other night in the Outlaw Series, so we'll see what he's going to do coming up through the field here. He seems to made up a lot of spots. See what I'm saying? I'm not doing very good.
I mean, it made sense to me.
There you go.
I'm just going to roll with it. As our leader, Jonah Colbert, right now is out to about a 2.5 lead. He's got it on cruise control. He really hasn't put a whole lot of pressure to that 426 car at this point in time. Probably honestly doesn't need to unless Alan Warnecki and Andrew Kurtz start to make up a little bit of time on him. But he has definitely closed the gap on that 426 car and is going to have to make a decision here soon of when and how he's going to pass him.
Yeah, definitely don't want to wait too long. If he's not holding you up, you don't feel like that you're having to stay out of throttle. It doesn't hurt sometimes, especially when you know someone who's trying to stay on the lead lap. Doesn't hurt to just ride and just try to save your stuff and you know, some guys, and you know, it's, to me, a lap car has every right to race the leader, especially when you're the first one lap down, and I think they're able to race hard, and so it's very easy to go down there and try to just, oh, he's going to let me go, and then you get to racing, you lose a bunch of time, you use up some tires. So you have to be smart, you have to be patient.
As right now, Jonah Colbert still is pulling away from the second place car. He's up to a 1.7 second lead, so right now he could ride behind Todd Schott, because Todd Schott is putting down some pretty good lap times. And Jonah Colbert continues to pull away from second and third place. So no real rush, I guess, on his part. Doesn't seem to be affecting him one bit, as Jonah Colbert is the fastest car on the track right now.
Yeah, I mean, he can see the same stuff we're seeing as far as relative, and so, you know, Jonah is a very, very smart race car driver, and I'm not just saying that because he's my teammate. He's actually really, really smart about how he takes care of his stuff and tries to manage his races, and so, you know, the only issue that I see is that they're starting to hit a little bit more lap traffic up in front of him, and he'll have to make a decision once they get caught up.
As now it looks like Jonah Colbert is coming off of 4. He pulled down to the inside there a little bit, but Todd Schott was able to keep that 426 wound up. They are closing in fast on that 55 machine, so it's going to be interesting to see where the 55, looks like the 55 is going to stay high and allow those two cars to go by, but it got a little interesting there for a second.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you know, it's hard to say if Jonah's getting impatient, or if he's just running his line, running that bottom, and it's hard to say. But hey, look, like we said already, as long as he's maintaining that gap, and Todd's, you know, he doesn't feel like he's holding him up, you know, just follow behind him. So he's doing a good job.
Yep. And again, coming off of 4, Jonah Colbert sticks the nose underneath him. I think this time he's a little bit closer to him. But they're going to head down into turns 1 and 2. And I tell you, Todd Schott is not going to give him the room or let him go. He's going to race him hard to stay on this lead lap, as we have now completed 30 laps here tonight of our scheduled 100. So almost a third of the race down. All of it under green flag thus far. A lot of great racing throughout the field. But our current leader right now is Jonah Colbert. He's got about a 1.8 second lead on the field, with more lap traffic coming up in front of him, as now we see the number 27 machine.
Yeah, I think Jonah, if we have a late race caution or something like that, he might be seeing how well that top line is working, and put that in your memory bank, because Todd's able to hold that off the corner really well, get a good run down the straightaway, and coming off on the bottom is showing to be really difficult to make a pass. So something to really pay attention to.
As now Jonah Colbert has lost some time to the second place car. Lead is cut down to a second and a half as they were working their way around that number 27 machine. So again, we'll have to see as he gets that car back in the line he wants to run and follows in line back behind Todd Schott. If he can continue to kind of squeak that lead back out to where it was. But right now, Alan Warnecki is the fastest car on the track.
Yeah, Jonah just needs to be a little bit more. Try to be a little patient behind Todd, because Todd he's fast enough, and he is trying to get around him a couple times, and it just lost a bunch of time.
As now we see Alan Warnecki's moved around that 27 machine. So no lap cars in between our leader and our second place car. Travis Bieber right now is the third place car in that 114 machine, so he has really had himself a pretty good night as well, as he qualified up front, has been able to keep that car up front as the laps continue to tick off here tonight at Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, the top 10 is getting a lot more interesting as I'm back here watching the 14th car in that battle, but the top 10 is getting really interesting. Josh Oswald's up to 5th. Justin Hendry's up to 6th place. Aaron Adcock is up to 7th. So a lot of guys breaking into the top 10 that we've already talked about who have started to work their way up towards the front.
And as we talked about earlier in the race, of course, your pick for tonight's race, Aaron Adcock, he is...
Hail State.
Yes, he is slowly but surely working his way up through the field right now and having himself a very solid run here tonight. He's up 9 spots from where he had started at, so not the greatest qualifying effort for the 23 machine, but he is definitely showing up here when it's come to race time.
Yeah, you know, really need a caution at some point. You know, these guys have moved up a bunch to get on equal footing with the top 3 or 4. But who knows? Green flag pit stops coming up probably not too long from now. You know, you definitely can make up some time if you could short pit. I don't know how long they can go on fuel, but if they pit like normal and pit right on lap 50 to split it in half, you know, you might pit a few laps before, try to get out with fresh tires, make up some time.
Yeah, with the green flag look that this race has got to it at this point in time. Oh, a lap car goes around in front of our leader, and that is going to bring out the caution here tonight.
My bad. I started talking about cautions, and then we got one. We had 3 or 4 cars spinning, and I say something about a caution, and 1 car spins. But
well, that was Colton Lanford that went around there. Well, just lost it coming off the corner. He must have pitted and got some fresh tires as he was really rocketing it up through the field there. But I think it was another case of cold tires and just snapped that car around. This will bring the entire field down pit lane for pit service here. Everybody get 4 fresh tires and fuel, and it'll catch a few people up. And what do you know? Todd Schott is going to remain on the lead lap here. So all that fighting paid off for him, Eddie.
Absolutely, and like I said, you know, a lot of people could watch it, and everybody has their own opinions, and that's fine. But a lot of people watch that and go, well, Todd, he's a lap down, needs to get out of the way. But that's so far from the truth. When you're trying to race and trying to catch a caution, and you're fast enough, you know, just had that early spin. It's worth it to fight as much as you can to you know, with respect.
And Jonah Colbert has missed his pit box. Missed it again. He had to back up, go forward, back up again. He had to back up one more time, and I think he's finally in his stall right now. So he has lost all kinds of time here on pit road.
Yeah, definitely don't like that. I'd hate to be in chat with him right now.
Oh my goodness, he is going to come out way deep into the field here after that. After that debacle on pit road. Tough break for our early race leader there.
Yep. But yeah, as far as lap cars, you know, and it paid off for Todd. He raced his guts out. He didn't give it up, and now he's on the lead lap. Didn't have to get a wave around or a lucky dog or anything like that, and he gets to work his way up through the field. So I love that. I love seeing guys who are here to race, not here to pull over. And you know, if somebody wants to pull over, that's fine. But you know, I love to see it. I like to see people race, man.
I do too, man. And so, I mean, good on him for racing as hard as he did. And it definitely paid off in spades here as he's going to be able to catch up to the rear of the field with a fresh set of tires. And I'll be curious to see how he does coming up through the field because he did qualify up front. And obviously he's got a fast machine as he stayed in front of Jonah Colbert that entire run. So it is going to be real interesting to see how he works his way up through the field.
Yeah, absolutely. With Jonah having his issues, a couple guys like Adam Lane who's been running really fast, made up a lot of time. There's a lot of guys, you know, of course we talked about Adcock, Oswald, Hendry, all these guys who have been able to catch up, get new tires. There's going to be a lot of moving and shaking, I think, going on for the next, you know, the next 60 laps.
Yeah, absolutely here. And, you know, one of the things, I wanted to get your opinion. Did you see the announcement today for Kurt Busch?
I did.
So one of the parts of that announcement, you know, obviously he's going over to 2311 Racing, and he's going to race for his 3rd manufacturer because he raced Ford, Chevys, and now he's going to move over to Toyota. But one of the other things that came in that announcement is NASCAR came out and said we are going to move the numbers forward on the car. So as we look at Alan Wernicke, he's kind of got his numbers pushed back like they did at the All-Star race. But today, NASCAR said we're going to push them forward for next year. So what are your thoughts on that and how that car is going to look with the numbers now right behind the front tire?
Well, You know, I'm not a I think I'm two-faced on this because I hate it at the same time, but I'm not scared of change. You know, I'm willing to give it a shot, see what these guys who put, you know, these guys who make these paint schemes in real life are just badasses. And so if anybody can figure out how to make it look good, they can. It's going to be tough. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like tradition. I think the way the numbers look now is awesome. But if moving, you know, in a sport that's hurting, you know, as far as financially and getting folks into the sport, you know, moving the number forward, if that helps in any way, hey, I'm for it. You know, I want to see cars on track. If the numbers in different spots, you know, and we get to keep cars on track, I'm down with it. So.
Yeah, I think we kind of fall the same there. I'm curious myself, watching NASCAR for upwards of 25 years at this point in time. So, but we'll talk about it more later in the broadcast. But the pace car is off, and Alan Warnecki has restarted this race, and we are back underway one more time here in the Flexible Freight Solutions ARCA Menards. Golly, can't do it, Eddie. I just can't do it.
I think he did great, man. Warnecki, he got a great start there. Get a huge run. To get a nice gap going in 3 and 4. As we see the 19 car, Jason Matthew gets super loose off the corner on those cold tires. He's able to wrap it up. But so good job by him. But that was a scary moment for sure for a lot of these guys trying to move back up through the field. Oh no! Oh my goodness! We have a wreck back here between Jason Matthew, Jason Lottridge, and Jonah Colbert actually collected in that as well. Looks like a couple guys just got loose on those cold tires, and good bit of damage there to Jason Lottridge's Punisher car.
We'll try to go back and take a look at it here a little bit, and yeah, he's got a good bit of damage to the left front of that car. Not real sure if he's unhappy with somebody, as he kind of moved up pretty quickly on the 25 car of Colton Lanford there, but we'll go back and kind of try to take a look here. Looking for, and there's Jonah Colbert. We'll try to take a look at his car as well. As you said, he kind of got wrapped up in it a little bit. The car looks pretty clean. So
yeah, looks like they kind of hit in the middle. So I think he'll be all right.
So but that's going to bring out our second caution here this evening on lap number 46 of our scheduled 100 here tonight. Alan Warnecki up leading the race, up 7 spots from where he started. Andrew Kurtz running second. Rounding out our top 3 right now is Josh the Jet Oswald, who he's another one of those drivers. When it comes time to cut the paychecks, he always finds his way up front. He is slowly but surely working his way up through the field as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Ain't no doubt about it. He's super fast, and sometimes he drives with one arm. I don't know how he does it.
I'm not real sure either. But he goes out and wins a lot of races, so he's doing something right.
Yeah, these short tracks, he gets out there and whoops everybody's butts.
He is definitely one of those. I guess the best way I would describe him is like a throwback driver. He's that Saturday night short track, and he does it in real life as well. So translates very well over to what he does in iRacing. But you put him behind the wheel of a Tour Modified or a late model or any of those types of things and put him on some of these short tracks, you're going to be hard-pressed to beat that man.
No doubt about that. Well, what I'm hoping is this doesn't become like, where cautions breed cautions. I thought we had a really, really good run, so I'm hoping we'll get back into that. But I don't know, did you have more thoughts on those numbers? We didn't really get to finish that thought. I was kind of interested to hear what you thought about it.
Same as you. I don't know that I'm a big fan of it. I do like your take on it when you mentioned that these guys that go out and design these cars and design these paint schemes and all these different types of things do phenomenal work. So, like you said, if anybody's going to make it look right, they're going to be able to do it. And each and every year, a lot of the different teams kind of change up the look of the car. This year, William Byron with that flat black and kind of the stripes on it. It took me a little while to even you know, adjust to that a little bit. But now I kind of like seeing that car on the track. So I think it's probably just going to be another case of that, to where it's a change, and everybody's going to be like, and then it'll just kind of grow on you, and they'll do some cool things with the cars, and you're like, okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna hold my judgment and see how it goes. I will miss the way that everything's done now, for sure. But we'll see. Like I said, if they might put together something nice, and I don't want to dog them too early. But
Yeah, well, next year at NASCAR, I mean, it's going to be a completely different story with the new car that's coming out, and you know, we're going to see everything from not only the new body styles, sequential shifters. Pit stops are going to be incredibly different, because no longer is it going to be buzzing off, you know, 5 lug nuts. It's a center nut. You know, so NASCAR is going to go through some major changes next year for sure.
yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, if you're not constantly changing, because motorsports is basically all technology, and in technology, I think if you're not staying ahead of everything and staying up to date, you're falling behind, you know, exponentially. And I think, you know, I know a lot of folks don't like the idea of that, but if you're the top tier of what your sport is, you need to be pushing the boundaries. As far as what you're trying to do technology-wise, and trying to, you know, NASCAR's always tried to mimic the on you know, the cars that are run on the street. And so, you know, I think this is just an evolution of technology and trying to make that jump, you know, forward a few years. So.
And I think, you know, and what comes to mind for me as we're getting ready to go back green here is that sequential shifter. You're seeing less and less traditional manual transmissions and a lot of paddle shifted cars and things along those lines. So again, as you said, it's just a natural movement forward. But we're back under green here. Alan Wernicke gets a great restart here. Andrew Kurtz up to the outside, and Josh Jet Oswald is going to stick his nose down there and see if he can't take over second place, and he does. And so now the Jet's going to look forward to that number 72 car and see what he can do.
Well, don't look now. Justin Hendry got a great drive through the middle of that turn and was able to get past Andrew Kurtz and got up on the back bumper of Josh Oswald. So,
your boy Aaron Adcock. Woo! He
meant to do that. He meant to do that.
Okay,
all right. What he was doing. Yeah, that was on purpose.
That was an aggressive move there, and that car started to look a little sideways. And, well, I think you double cursed it now, because now we are back under caution once again, and so we definitely, that caution breeds caution thing is happening here. But these guys will get it sorted out here shortly. That I'm pretty certain of, but I'm not quite certain what actually brought the caution out.
Yeah, I'm showing Jacob Ellickson had something go on. I'll let you know. Oh, yeah. Some nasty contact there. Just kind of got a little hot into the corner and had some contact, but he got it back going.
As I'm not really seeing any damage to that car there, so obviously didn't really hurt the car at all. And it is definitely pointed in the right direction. And you know, one of the things here, especially with these ARCA cars still operate under that new damage model. So when these cars take a hit, they could lose a tire, they could bust the suspension, they could do all kinds of crazy stuff. So
yeah, I think you can actually break a tooth in real life, and that's impressive.
I got nothing.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. We got talking about teeth, and you're in Mississippi, and I didn't even know if you guys knew what teeth were. But
oh boy, here we go.
I know. That was probably.
We got a lot of Southern viewers, man. We just lost half our view count because of that. So guys, come on back, man. I'm on your side. Hail State, we're right there with you. Don't mind him.
Just one of those Yankees. I live in the cornfields of Indiana. It's not like I got a whole lot to say, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've been to Indiana, and I actually really love Indiana. I've had some of the best barbecue, funny enough, in Indiana. So,
wow.
Y'all are no slouches, that's for sure.
You know, and I can't conversely say that. I don't think I've ever been to Well, I went to Tunica once. I don't know if that really counts.
That was on the water. You wasn't even on land.
True statement. But,
Yeah, I stopped. I don't know where I was in India. I can't remember the place, but we were trying to find something to eat. We were kind of in the boonies, and we got a place. We found a place called Elbows. That was the name of it. And we stopped in there, and we felt like we were just at home. They had turkey, they had dressing, cornbread. I was like, man, what is this? What is this oasis in Yankee Land? And I'll always remember Elbows, man. That was it was delicious. So.
From the Hoosier State, Eddie, you're quite welcome.
Yeah.
I have no idea where that's at. Never even heard of it. But you're gonna have me on the hunt tomorrow. See if I can't figure out where this place is. And how long ago was that?
Oh, brother, it was probably 20 years ago.
Oh, well, jeez, oh, Pete. I'll still look anyway. Maybe I'll find something.
I may have found that. I don't know, but I may have just made that up. You just never really know. No, we were trying to find something to eat. We didn't want McDonald's or something like that, and we ended up just seeing it, and we decided let's stop in there, feeling adventurous, and man, it was great. So y'all might sound different, but y'all can still cook all right.
All right. Well, you know, and we are the world center of racing, so we got that going for us.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah. They're yeah, I won't say they're all Indiana's. I was born and raised here. Obviously, I left for 24 years. I came back. It's a great place to be for sure, but not a whole lot going on. But we damn sure do a lot of racing around here.
Yeah. Of course, my track growing up was Talladega. I lived three
Sure.
hours, 2.5 with a heavy foot from Talladega. So I pretty much spent every year of my life growing up going to Talladega. So in the 90s when I was growing up, it was the best time to go there, and it was fortunately it was in July. So I had a lot of sunburn. I got my first I busted my first eardrum. At Talladega, so there's a lot of firsts there. It was a lot of fun. So I'd love to get to Indy though. That's one track I would love to at least just be at.
It's an experience for sure. You know, it's not. It's an experience. It's a good track to watch a race at. Obviously, you know, being as large as Indy is, you kind of catch the parts of the races where you're actually sitting. But even this year, Roger Penske buying the track and all that stuff, and the upgrades they've made to the facility, it is an amazing experience for sure.
Yeah, that's exciting.
But the pace car is pulled off. We're going to get back underway one more time. Alan Wernicke gets a good start. The Jet actually gets a pretty good restart on the outside as well. We're going to have to see what Justin Hendry has to say about that, as we saw him making some pretty big moves on that last restart. And Aaron Adcock continues to sneak his way up there. As now he pulls to the outside of Justin Hendry to move that number 23 machine up into third place.
Yeah, absolutely. Guy's getting real aggressive now.
He's going around. No, he's not.
Oh, and he saved it. Wow, what a save. Unbelievable.
What?
He 2-foot smashed it. I don't know if you know what 2-foot smash is.
I do.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. You saw the front tires lock up. He was able to hang on to this. They're 3 wide back here. Goodness gracious.
What a save by that the driver of that number 23 machine. That car was, well, for all intents and purposes, that car was wrecked. It's now we see Jonah Colbert get up into the outside wall there at the start-finish line.
Yeah, just a little kiss, he'll be all right. And they're battling hard right here, trying to get back going there, and Adcock's trying to recover from that. And Jonah Colbert's trying to move back after his pit road issue, so a lot of hard racing, trying to get back up to the field, and these guys are not giving an inch.
As we're still seeing quite another car up into the wall. The number 3 machine gets up into the wall. 01 of Mickey Isaac up into the wall. I don't know if the flag band up on the stand is waving some weird flag and distracting drivers. We've had quite a few drivers hit the wall basically right at the start-finish line.
Yeah, I think somebody's flashing up at the in the front stretch. I think that's what's going on.
Something's going on.
We had somebody in the chat as we were having a battle for the lead here say World Center and said, so I don't know if you want to respond to that or not.
I don't know. Does it warrant a response?
Nah.
Nah, I don't think it does either.
I mean, we don't want to get into the series that's the second best oval series in their own country, so you know it's not really no point.
Yeah, I don't think it's okay though. As we continue on here, looks like a lot of these cars right now, the tires have gotten some heat into them. Don't see a lot of them waving at the fans as we did on these restarts. But I tell you, these cold tires have bitten quite a few drivers here tonight, Eddie.
Yeah, it's got Joshua Jet Oswald trying to make a pass for the lead. Oh, Wernicke kind of pitches it down going into the corner. That's tough. That's tough to do. You don't really want to do that because you don't know if the guy on the bottom can even hold it. Josh does a really good job. Kind of cut him a break there.
He did.
Yeah, if you cut down somebody real low trying to enter in the corner, the inertia is going to go out. We're under caution, it looks like.
We're back under caution. Looks like Travis Bieber and Adam Lane just crashed. So we'll go back and take a look at that. So taking a look at it right now from the... Oh, we see Travis Bieber is around already. And, oh my goodness, that 52 car gets all kinds of tore up there. Oh, what a tough break there, as it looks like Travis Bieber had spun that car around, and then a couple other cars trying to get checked up end up collecting up each other there. But brings us back under caution. We have completed 65 laps of our scheduled 100 here this evening. This is the Warren's Kid Ligma 100, brought to you by Flexible Freight Solutions and the Magic Manzo's ARCA series that runs every Friday night. Well, we saw the Jet come down pit road, and we're seeing quite a few other cars come down pit road as well. So some different strategy playing out right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to shake it up even more. This whole race just feels like a big shakeup. It's just been back and forth for some drivers. See Jonah Colbert after his pit stop issues, now up to third after that pit stop. And then we just had Adam Lane get caught up in that accident, so he's moved all the way back. And so it's going to be a whole lot of drivers staying out. So these guys that are pitting are going to have a whole lot of work to do. But they're going to have the freshest tires and should be quite a bit quicker.
As the first one off of pit road is going to be that 17 machine of Josh Oswald there. So we'll have to see. We saw some different strategies playing out here a little bit. I think these guys right here are gambling on the tires being the biggest difference at this point in the race. But they are going to start a little bit deeper into the field, as right now I'm showing that the Jet's going to restart back in 13th position.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough order, especially if we have these cautions keep flying. Which it's probably the most frustrating thing in racing is when you're trying to get into a groove and cautions just keep coming out, and that frustration builds up to the point where you start making moves you normally wouldn't make. As you start to see those laps, click away, as we're gonna go green with probably around 30 laps to go. Patience is gonna start wearing out. Guys are on old tires, got new tires. So it's going to be exciting to see how these guys move up through the field and how much patience they're willing to have. I would be willing to bet not much.
I think that's a pretty safe bet. I would bet the same as these guys on fresh tires. That's what they've gambled on. So they're going to have to take some pretty aggressive moves to work their way back up front. So it is going to be interesting to see just how aggressive they're going to get. Like you were talking about the patience level. I agree. I think it's going to be a little bit wore out here, and it is definitely, we're in the latter third of this race, final third of this race, and so for guys that want to get up here and try to challenge for the win here tonight, they're going to have to make those moves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Wernicke, Hendry, Colbert, Thompson, and Goodwin, they're in good shape. They've got a pretty big buffer back to 11th and 12th where the fresh tires are. So they've got a good little buffer they can get away and try to get out, and maybe those tires will equalize. But they're going to need a long run to do that. They're going to, if Josh Oswald, Adcock, and these guys who pitted, if they're able to pick off 2 or 3 drivers caution, that could be bad news for these guys up front.
We'll have to see how it plays out a little bit. As again, we're going to have some of these cars that are on those fresh, cold tires, and we've seen what that's done to them throughout the course of this evening. But we are back underway one more time as Alan Warnecki is able to get himself a great start, clear everybody else throughout the field. Justin Hendry settles into second place, and now Jonah Colbert has worked his way all the way back up into third position and is going to be fighting to get up front.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm back here watching these fresh tires, see how they navigate this, and you can definitely tell there's a little bit of speed difference. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, no. It's a wreck back here. I can't even see. There's so many. Looks like Colton Lanford, William Griffith, Brandon Pollock were involved. Andrew Kurtz. Oh, I hate to see that. He's been up front all day.
Yeah, William Griffith right there, as we can see him dragging a tire. The whole left front suspension has been blown out of that car. So, yeah, we've got some wounded machines back here now.
Hell, that suspension was held on by Play-Doh, it looks like. Good grief.
As we see sparks flying out underneath that car as he is dragging the whole left front of it. So he'll definitely have to bring that machine down the pit road. From my understanding, these cars don't really drive real well with only 3 tires.
Yeah, I don't think they're designed like that. I mean, the left front really doesn't do much, but it can't do that.
As he remains on track, he's going to prove us all wrong.
Well, I don't know if he couldn't turn down into pit road or if he's just like, hey, look, I'm just going to run it. Maybe we'll just keep running until it falls off, and it'd probably be all right. I think about those, those dirt cars that the left front is going to the corners up off the ground. So maybe that's what he's trying to do, just get it to pop off, and then he's good to go.
Or maybe he just doesn't realize it. He's like, hey, this thing's not handling too bad. No, as he makes the left come down pit lane, Colton Lanford's going to follow him. So those 3 machines that were involved in that accident bring those cars down pit road to get them fixed up. And we'll check back in up front here on our leaders.
Yeah, I know these leaders are getting tired of this. There's nothing worse, especially in Warnecki's position, where he is, having to get a jump every time. He can't make a mistake. He can't spin the tires. He's got to do it every single time to get that good jump, get out ahead. And, it's just the likelihood of a mistake or, Justin Henry getting a great start, it just goes up and up and up as we get more and more of these restarts. So.
Yeah, I can tell you, and I'm sure both of us have been in that position before, where you get into some of these late cautions here, and you're the leader of the race, and not only do you got to nail these restarts perfect every time, and then you get going, and then you're like, okay, everything's great, I've got to do it again, and then you get to the point in time where it's multiple green-white checkers, and it gets very nerve-wracking to be able to repeat that every single time and get those good restarts.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. He would love to get that, 7, 8, 10th lead, get out there and just run and let them battle it out while he runs off, takes the win. But I would love to see a green flag run to the finish here.
Yeah, as we're probably going to go back green with 25 laps left to go in the race here. So still a lot of great racing throughout the evening. The second half of it's been a little bit caution-filled here. Hopefully these guys will get that sorted out a little bit and get a good green flag run to the end, because I think we're both curious to see how some of these guys that stopped only a handful of laps ago are able to work their way up through the field, and how guys like Jonah Colbert, who was our early leader of this race, had some troubles on pit road, has had to fight his way all the way back up to the front, and he was very strong. Out front by almost 2 seconds at one point in time on that initial green flag run. So I think Jonah's going to have something to say about this race before it's over.
Absolutely. And everybody around him has the same tires. The difference in tires between, Josh Odwalt and everybody in front of him is about, it looks like about 10 laps for the first 4 cars in front of him. And then the top 6 look like they're going to be about 25 laps different. So the problem is, if you don't stay green for a couple laps where you can really set up a pass and get your car wound up, it's hard to make any progress. And there's still, Josh Odwall's still back in 11th, not able to make much ground up on that last restart.
So we'll see how this all ends up playing out here. Is there still, 25 laps left to go here tonight? So some time to make up some of that track position that could have been lost during some of those pit stops. But I mean, you nailed it, Eddie. We're going to have to get some green flag. They're going to have to put together at least a 10-lap run or something along those lines for that strategy to work out for them.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Kind of cool to see that number 85 machine running the old Dale Jarrett paint scheme.
Yeah, it's definitely a good looking scheme. I like that. I'm sure he would love to put it in victory lane tonight.
Well, heck, man, you've got 3 different orange cars to choose from up front at this point in time.
I know it. There's even a 21 car back here with little orange numbers, so any of those win, I'm all good.
Yes, we've got the field stacked up 2 by 2. Lights are out on the pace car. It hangs the hard left down pit road one more time. Alan Wernicke gets a great start again. As we see them come up through the gears, he's going to clear Justin Hendry. And Justin Hendry's going to fall back into second place. And Jonah Colbert right now is going to fall into third. So the challenge to his outside by Josh Thompson.
Yeah, they get single file really quick, and a couple different lines. It's interesting to watch. I like to see a 3 wide back here. Oh, good grief. Oh, and we're wrecking 21.
27's up in the air. 71, the 88 of Charles Stevens Jr.'s catches another car on the way down, and we have Chuck Phelps is down on the infield at this point in time as well, as we have a whole mess of cars that are wadded up.
Yeah, Jacob Ellingson's had just a horrible night. He caught up in that one as well. His car looks a little bit tore up, so a lot of cars in that one.
As we saw cars going up in the air and everything like that, and that number 27 machine is tore up pretty good, as he is dragging the front of it across the track right now. Left front looks like it's down. That car has seen better days.
Yeah, it looks like somebody got into the wall and then really having a hard time finding where all that started. There was just a lot to that one.
A lot of cars back there in the field that were running 3 wide. If I had to guess, Eddie, I think they just ran out of racing room there. And here at Iowa, it doesn't take a whole lot to get these cars turned around and facing the wrong direction. As we've seen a couple cars that have just done it on their own. So you get any little bit of a help from the driver next to you or the driver behind you. And with the field stacked up, coming off of a caution and a restart, it's going to collect up a whole bunch of cars as it did that time.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Just some guys ran out of room, 3 wide coming off the corner, and just a lot of guys. A couple guys spun just trying to get on the brake, get slowed down. So just people trying to avoid that crash.
So we are under caution one more time here this evening. 22 laps left to go here in the Warren's Kid Ligma 100. Still have no idea what a Warren's Kid Ligma is.
Well, you should keep saying it a lot. Make sure we really get that sponsor in there.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's a lot easier to say than Flexible Freight Solutions. I have to literally slow my speech down to get that correct.
I feel like it's one of those things you can't think about. You just got to say Flexible Freight Solutions and just go with it. If you think about it or read it. Well, that's what I'm saying. If I would try to read it, it would have been just a tongue twister. It's one of those words you got to just pop in your head and just go right out your mouth. You're thinking too hard. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think I'm in my own head.
That's it. Well, I know these guys. Like we said already. It's so tough because people are. We're having incidents just because guys are racing their butts off, and it's just so tough having so many restarts. Josh Oswald able to make a couple spots up on those new tires. These front guys electing not to come down pit road, which I don't blame them. They haven't had enough laps to really justify it. It's going to be tough, though. I mean, 25 laps is a lot, so it's going to be tough. You know, if Josh or Aaron or any of these guys are able to get up there, it's going to be tough to hold them back. So it'd be interesting to see if any of these leaders hit pit road from here on out.
I would think at this point in time, with we're going to take the green flag with 19 laps left to go. I mean, you got what you got at this point in time, because you know those guys that pitted earlier, like Josh Oswald, like Aaron Adcock, they're not coming down pit road. So any of these front leaders that decide to pit, if another caution should come out, I mean, they're going to be the ones going all the way to the back. And really, at this point in time, the tires on the Jets car are basically new. They've had little wear because it has been back-to-back cautions here. So, again, we'll have to see how they come up through the field here a little bit. Pace car is off one more time. Alan Winiecki gets a great start and clears the 85 machine. The 3 and the 31 are still battling it out there a little bit for third place, as Justin Hendry is going to get that 85 car wound up and up into second place. Looks like Jonah Colbert is going to make a run to the inside of the 85 right now. Gets a great run through 1 and 2, sends it down into 3, and we're going to have to see if he's going to be able to do anything with that, as that 85 car is going to get the run going down the straightaway. Yeah,
we've seen as you know, early part of this race when he was trying to pass Todd Schatz, put him a lap down. He was able to get through the entry in the middle of the corner. Oh, as Hendry gets a little bit loose, but he's able to get up beside somebody. But the exit is just so tough, and Hendry is running sort of right up in that middle lane, which is a fast lane. Oh my goodness, the 3 car. Joshua Thompson gets really loose off the corner, and they're still jockeying for position back here.
Yeah, a lot of great racing back to the field right now, as we got some new players up front. Tyler Rice in the number 6 machine has moved up into 4th position. He's up 24 spots from where he started, so he has been very quiet as he's moved up through the field, but solidly in the top 5 right now. And if the 31 and 85 get racing side by side, he's going to be there racing for 2nd position.
Yeah, we made a mistake not talking about him. He just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
you see Jonah Colbert is trying to get on the inside, get a run. He's going to see if he can dive down. It's just so tough to make that pass.
It is.
You got to go down in the corner and basically just punch the gas and hope you don't spin out, and hope that the other guy. So he's going to have to figure out a way to get around him.
Yeah, sometimes you got to use some of that old dirt tracking tricks and just pull the slide job and get that preferred line coming out of the corner. So yeah, he's going to have to make some decisions here soon as Alan Winiecki continues to pull away. Gets a good run that time off of 4. He's able to keep that nose underneath him, so we'll have to see as they go down into 1 and 2 if that 31's going to be able to pull this pass off.
Yeah, Justin Hendry not going to go away, not going to give it up easy. Fights back on the high side. They're side by side this time. That's good
there
for
Jonas.
Jonah. He's able to clear him and get there. Well, that's what I'm talking about. He sent it on the UPS truck, didn't he?
He sure did. But that's what you got to do. And sometimes, I get watching these races and I almost want to yell at the driver. I'm like, Jonah, just send it, man. Just send it. And,
well, we were in that Xfinity race. I know when I was spotting for him, that's the way I was doing. I was trying to keep my mouth shut, trying to be supportive. But there's a couple times that I was like, man, no, get it, go.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I definitely know. But great move. Moves that car up into 2nd position right now. So we'll have to see if he's able to make up the time. And we're back under yellow one more time. So we're going to stack it back up. And this is going to put him up into 2nd position. But it looks like Dave Jones went off track. So let me take a look here. That's the number 12 machine of William Griffith. But Dave Jones, well, I'm not sure exactly what happened to him. Wow, we do have some wrecked cars here. Is the 75 machine of Charles Feltz is wrecked. So not sure what started the whole thing, but that number 10 machine is missing some pieces off the front of his car now.
Yeah, it looks like the 55 car of Charlie Gates gets into the wall a little bit, comes back across the track, and just a couple guys will know where to go.
So now it looks like hang on. Where are you at? So I think I might have to have a little talk with Dave Jones there, because My eyes aren't mistaking me. That's an Ohio State car.
Yeah, we can't have that.
No, I don't think. No.
That's one thing we agree on. I'm glad, because we can't have that right there.
No, that's well, we're just gonna have to do it, man. We're gonna have to post the 10 card to the NASCAR hauler after the race for unauthorized.
Bring up the penalty box.
Yeah, because that's that is not gonna work out there, Dave Jones.
Yeah, just from my perspective, it looked like Charlie Gates Jr. in that Oklahoma Sooner car gets a little loose off the corner, overcorrects into the wall, and just a couple guys nowhere to go. So,
another racing deal here this evening, and we've
yep.
seen a few of those here tonight.
But we talked about it early on. It was tough, and we haven't, the not being able to put heat in the tires, not be able to get a whole lot of laps on it. It makes it tough to keep that car up under you, especially when you're trying to make up time here at the end of the race.
Yeah, and so we're now going to be under 10 laps left here to go in the Warren's Kid Ligma 100. And so those guys that, pitted, a handful of laps ago that have, took the gamble on those tires, bet on the tires, with all the cautions here in these short runs, it's really not playing out for them.
Yeah, they've been able to make a few spots, but it's just going to get harder and harder as they get closer, and these guys are a little bit faster and racing, a lot harder. It's going to be tough to, every spot's going to be harder and harder to make up, and at this point, I think the tires are probably equalized. I don't think there's going to be much advantage left. And just at the end of the day, you're probably just going to run out of time. And, I think the races up here in these top 3 or 4, if we were at a mile and a half where those new tires would make a second and a half, we might be talking about something different. But here, it's if you're not up here in the top 4, it's going to be real tough.
As we take a look at the number 23 machine of Aaron Adcock, he is going to be the first one on those newer set of tires, so he has been able to work himself up into 6th position. Mickey Isaac's right behind him as well. Another one of the drivers that came down and took tires, he is up into 7th. Josh Jet Oswald back there in 8th. Brandon Wallace, after starting up front, then kind of falling back through the field and really kind of quiet all night long, has worked his way back up into the top 10, sitting 9th in that push pop candy car. I still find that to be an interesting paint scheme, but that's Brandon Wallace for you.
Hey, interesting scheme for an interesting guy.
That is true. And then Spencer Gay, who we haven't had a chance to call his number here tonight, that 69 machine, has worked his way up into the top 10. He is up 20 spots from where he had started. So, again, another one of those drivers having a quiet evening, but a great evening here on the track.
Yeah, and right behind him, Matt Clement, William Griffith up to 12, Travis Bieber, Phil Hitman Manzo up to 14th. So some guys having really good runs that we haven't really talked too much about, but been able to stay out of trouble. Brandon Wallace, one of those. If you look at his car, that push pop looks pretty clean. So,
why do I have a feeling that you've used that pickup line in the bar?
Good grief.
What? That one wasn't a good one? All right, back to racing, fellas.
No, I didn't know what to say. You got me good. I mean, I'll give you credit where you got me, and I was speechless. So that doesn't happen very often.
But it wasn't but a handful of laps ago we saw William Griffith three-wheeling it. So he's moved his car back up in the 11th position. And so good to see him recover from that accident here. So we're getting ready to get back underway with 6 laps left here to go when they cross the line. And Alan Wernicke gets a great start, clears the 31. 31 gets a really good start as well. He's going to take that higher arc down into the corner here, keep that car wound up. He's going to have to see if he's going to have anything for that 72 machine, who has really been on it on these restarts.
Yeah, and you're starting to see Aaron Adcock, Josh Oswald, making some moves here as they're trying to get past. Josh thought about it for a second. As they're starting to make a way, and Aaron gets a little bit loose off the corner. Got to be careful with that.
He's
They're
made that
driving
car
the hell
dance.
out of it.
Yeah, he's made that car dance a few times tonight. But it just goes to show that, I mean, that he's a wheel man because he's been able to keep it pointed straight every time.
Yeah, and you know, I'm actually really surprised by how well these new tires are holding up, as these two have been able to make up quite a few spots since that restart. Not too much time left though. They're gonna make a bid for this win. They're gonna have to get it going.
Yeah, as Aaron Hancock has now moved up to the 3rd position. We see the Jet moving underneath that 85 machine there. But Alan Warnecki right now has got himself a pretty comfortable lead of almost 4/10 of a second as we're coming up on 3 laps left to go. It does look like Jonah Colbert's a little bit faster.
Oh, and Hendry's.
Oh, he is good.
Oh, he's spinning. He's able to wrap it up, and he saved it going through the grass. We stay green.
Jonah Colbert continues to stalk that 72 car at this point in time. He's a tick fast each and every lap here, so caution has come out. So this is going to finish under a green-white checkered. This is also going to get those fresh tires right up behind these front 2 cars here. So Aaron Adcock on those fresh tires is going to restart in 3rd position. So it is definitely going to change the dynamic of the race. It looks like, not sure what brought the caution out. We saw Justin Hendry go off the track there, back onto the track. He stayed green as he was able to save that. So definitely not the cause of our caution here this evening, but we take a look back at that and a good piece of driving that he'd put on there.
Yeah, it was a great save. I mean, he pretty much wrecked it 2 or 3 times and was able to catch it. So. Well, I hate to see that yellow flag, but I am excited to see this restart because all the strategy play and stuff has all come down to this. Guys who stayed out for track position are out front, and the guys who come in for pit, you know, got the new tires are right behind them. So, you know, passing's not easy. Even if you have new tires, it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. These guys are definitely going to battle and fight for it. You know, Jonah's probably the one that's going to be in the most trouble because Warnecki's done a great job of getting good jumps on the restarts. And so Jonah's going to have to play a little bit defense while trying to also play offense at the same time.
Yeah, he's definitely in the worst position here up front. As Alan Warnecki has really done an outstanding job on these restarts and timing them. So Jonah Colbert's really going to have to keep his head on a swivel here, make sure he gets his best restart of the evening, to stay in touch with the 72, and then also try to keep the tires and that 23 machine from getting around him.
You know, you know, and this is something I think about doing from time to time, but sometimes in these positions, you almost kind of want to just try jumping the start and see what happens. You know, this guy, you're sitting there second, and of course he's got the high line, so that's a good position to be in as you're going down in the first turn. But sometimes you know, if you're in it to win it, you're not running for a championship. Try to get a good restart with the leader and try to stay to his outside and see what can happen. You know, a lot of guys are just waiting and a little bit more passive, but sometimes it could be worth a shot. You time it just right. You know, you could be a hero, and of course, you time it wrong, you're a zero, and so.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Jonah Colbert comes out here not every single week, but he does come out here and race, and he's won some races. Obviously, he was last year's champion as well. And so to take a gamble here, see if he can't time this restart, I think it's a phenomenal idea. And, you know, the worst thing that happens is you catch the old black flag and you didn't win the race. But you could, you know, not try to jump it and still not win the race. So, I don't know.
Yep.
Take the gamble.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see this restart and how it plays out. I just want to see what these guys behind them are going to do. Are they going to, you know, how much tire do they have left? And they were, I mean, they definitely got out and were headed that way. It just didn't get a whole lot of time to see how the difference was in times. But this ought to be really exciting because I feel like the top 5 right here, definitely the 5, you know, the 5 faster drivers tonight. So. I think, you know, for either one of the leaders, I think you got to be careful. Just don't give up that top line. Don't let one of the fresh tires get to you outside. But knows?
We're going to have to see, again, how it all plays out here in the end. I expect, the same thing on Alan Wernecke. He's been getting great restarts all night long. But he does have a bunch of cars that are lined up behind him that are on 25-lap newer tires. I do think some of the advantage of those newer tires has gone away. There's been no less than 6, heat cycles on these tires. So I think they have kind of evened out a little bit, but that still is a pretty big gap in tire wear. So I think they will have a little bit of advantage. It's really going to depend if anybody can stay in touch with that 72 car, because he is just, he has pulled the field by 6, 7, 8, 10 car lengths each restart.
Yeah, he's done a great job tonight. Wernecke's doing what he's got to do to win the race. So he's done a great job doing what he's got to do. He's got to do it 1, maybe 2 more times. So we'll see what happens.
We're going to see the pace car pull off one more time. Alan Wernecke again gets a great launch.
Jonah Colbert did not get a good launch. As Aaron Adcock's all over him as he's going to get to the inside. Jonah's going to try to fight back a little bit, but you start to see the new tires of Aaron Adcock making all the difference there.
And here comes the Jet as well underneath the 31 machine. And so we are going to see the white flag this time by. Oh, my goodness, he keeps dirt tracking that car. Woo!
He's giving her hell. That's what I'm talking about. Trying to get the run. He knows he's going to. Oh, Jonah Colbert gets to the back of Josh Oswalt, trying to get a run up under him.
Aaron Adcock going to have one more shot at Alan Wernecke here in 3 and 4. And we're going to see how this plays out. As the Jet has cleared himself for 3rd place. Oh! No. Aaron is going to go around and collect up a few other cars at the same time.
Oh, my goodness. Oh,
no. And
get across the line, Aaron. Get across the line.
And we got cars wrecking everywhere. Oh, as they're still piling in.
Oh,
Jonah Colbert
goodness.
is wrecked. Aaron Adcock is wrecked. Oh, my goodness. What a finish to that. Oh, what a finish.
Well, if our points leader, that was about the worst thing that could have happened. He was hanging it all out there, trying to get out there and catch Wernecke and try to get that win, and gets loose, spins out, collects a couple cars, couldn't even make it across the start finish line, and he got knocked across, and he's going to end up in 24th. So, that was funny and stuff, but that's actually really tough for him. Our points leader, he's ends up being second, fighting for the lead, ends up 24. So that's really tough for him.
I
hate that.
Tough break there. As you're right. He was just out there wheeling it for all he could, and we've seen him quite a few times this evening get that car extremely loose coming off the corner, but be able to save it. And that time it just got too sideways on him, and wasn't able to save it, and spun that car in front of the entire field. So definitely messed up the finishing order here. But congratulations to Alan Wernecke, who ran a great race here tonight, was able to hold off the charge from all those new tires behind him. Josh the Jet Oswalt brings his car home in 2nd place, and then James Godwin is able to bring his home in 3rd. So great job to him as he was able to avoid everything that was happening there at the end and get a great finish.
Yeah, we didn't really call his name that much tonight, just a couple times, and he stuck in there and got him a podium. So that was, what a great job by him, just kind of missing that melee at the end and sneaking in there and getting that 3rd place finish. He started 14th, so it was a great finish for him.
Great night for him, great night for a lot of drivers, but tough night for our points leader here this evening as he battled his way up through the field a couple different occasions, and that last time just bit him. So tough break there as we will try to go find Alan Wernecke now and talk to our race winner. And, well, the Jet has moved himself up into the waiting room. It's always fun trying to find people, I tell you. And then I got to sit here and kind of try to fill the dead space as I'm looking for people. And hey, I found him finally. Here we go. Hey, Alan, it's Pat and this other goofy guy that's up
Eddie.
here with me. Yeah, that guy too. Up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, what a heck of a race here this evening. We saw you kind of take control of this race from the second half on. A lot of cautions there at the end and a lot of restarts that you had to make. So kind of take me through your race and how you brought home the win here tonight.
Yeah, man. After those pit stops, I'm not sure what happened to the 31 car. He was definitely there at the end. I'm just not sure what happened to him in the middle. But I came out in front. And those cautions were kind of nerve-wracking with all those restarts, but luckily it wasn't on too burnt up a tire, so I didn't spin them.
Well, Alan, as you're trying to, you got the control of the race and you got all those restarts. What's going through your head while you're trying to, restart the race and not make a mistake, not spin your tires for probably 6 or 7 restarts in a row?
Man, it felt like 20 of them. I'm not sure. It was just I wasn't trying to stack up the field, but I was definitely watching my mirror where everybody was.
Well, man, you ran one heck of a race here this evening. As we were commenting, those restarts, you nailed each and every one of them almost perfectly, and were able to gap the field, keep control over this race, even though guys behind you had 25-lap newer tires. So, man, a huge congratulations to you and the team here this evening. You got any sponsors you want to thank? Any shout-outs?
Flexible Freight Solutions, Magic Mike, Butt Clipper, teammates over at Salty Dog, Jake and
Well, all right. Well, Alan, it sounds like you're trying to reach out to the mothership, brother. But man, congratulations on the win tonight.
Yeah, a lot of static coming through. Not sure what's going on, but I'll repeat. Congratulations on the win here tonight, man. Get out there and celebrate. Awesome race, brother.
I appreciate it, guys. No mothership. I'm good here.
Good win, man.
That was hurting my eardrums. That was rough. All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in front of Brandon Wallace. No, I didn't understand what he was saying.
All right, let's go ahead and grab the jet and talk to him. Hey, Josh, it's Pat and Eddie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you guys. How you doing tonight?
Pretty dang good, man. That was a lot of fun watching you guys here this evening. Obviously, watching you come up through the field a couple different times with those newer tires and all that. So a lot of cautions at the end of the race there, so a lot of restarts. So kind of take me through your race, your pit strategy, really, and how you got that number 17 machine home with the second place finish tonight.
Well, really, without I was kind of hoping the second half of the race would resemble the first, but it didn't. So I felt I was really doubting my pit strategy there for a while, and all those short runs, there really wasn't any kind of chance for my newer tires to really matter. But I mean, it was crazy ending. Happy to get back up to second. Feel bad for Aaron. I always hate to see that, someone gassing it up off of 4 at the end and lose it. But I mean, it was definitely a tale of 2 races and 2 halves in that one. I was hoping if it stayed green at the end, I made a last split-second decision to pit. Felt like it bit me there, but at least we got back up to second. If we would have had some more green runs, I think I would have had something for Alan.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, you did a great job. I mean, it's so tough with multiple cautions there, trying to work your way through the field when you know you got better tires. I mean, what was there a plan? Were you trying to be patient, or were you just kind of going 100%, just getting all you can get after those first couple cautions after pitting?
Hey, after those first couple cautions, it was go like hell on every restart and try and grab as many spots as I could. I figured once they were coming, they were going to keep happening.
Well, he had a great job finishing second. I mean, second, third, whatever, wherever, if Aaron wouldn't had his issues, I mean, y'all made a hell of a drive back up through the field with all those cautions. That was still a heck of a run. So, good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a loose track tonight. You really had to baby it on the new tires for the first few, and even later on in runs, you could run your same mark, and all of a sudden it just snap on you off of turn 4 real easy.
Yeah, we saw that from a few drivers here this evening. I just assumed everybody wanted to wave to the fans on the front stretch because for a couple laps there, it seemed like the whole field was doing that. But you were able to wheel that car home in second place and keep it underneath you. So, any sponsors you'd like to thank? Shout out.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for taking care of the broadcast. It's always fun to watch back. Magic Mike and Phil for putting the ARCA series together. Big Frig Coolers and my friends and family that watch at home. I appreciate it.
Outstanding, man. Always a lot of fun to watch you race. Always fun to have you come up in the booth for an interview, man. Congratulations on another strong run tonight. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again.
Absolutely. Hope so.
All right, brother. Take care.
You too.
See you, Josh.
Yeah.
Well, our third place finisher of James Godwin. I have no idea where this gentleman is located at. I have been searching and searching and searching.
But I just couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. He's walking around in the infield. I see him now. He doesn't know what to do with his hands. So he may have just gotten lost, and we'll catch up eventually. I'm sure.
Well, congratulations to you, James. Wherever you're at, if you happen to be wandering the earth like Cain at this point in time, I hope you're enjoying it. But great podium finish here this evening. So congratulations on that one. We'll pull up tonight's final standings. And again, a lot of great racing here tonight. I know the second half of the race was really filled with a lot of cautions there. But even sometimes especially from a spectator's point of view, it just adds a little bit more intensity to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Having the different tire strategies toward the end, being able to see what those guys are able to do, all the cautions, what that breeds as far as strategy and stuff like that, guys having to make, decisions and race different than you did the first half, and like Josh said, you kind of want to get in this groove where you just take it easy and pick off one at a time, but as cautions keep coming, you can't. You just have to go. So it was really exciting to watch. Really, really exciting.
Yeah, and again, congratulations to our race winner, Alan Wernicke, in that number 72 machine on a hard-fought win here tonight. Jonah Colbert was able to recover back to fourth position there, even though that big accident there. So a good recovery for him. Mickey Isaac rounding out our top five here this evening. William Griffith, again, we were kind of commenting before that last restart. It wasn't but a handful of laps ago. He was hanging the left front off that car, but he's able to bring that car home in sixth position. So Brandon Wallace ends up finishing in our top 10 here this evening. Charles Stevens Jr. finishing out there in 12th. Todd Schott, who we saw at the very beginning of the race, kind of hang the car out, fall back a little bit, was able to stay on that lead lap and worked his way back up into 14th position there. But as we start to look back through the field here a little bit, we're going to see that number 23 machine of Aaron Adcock that fell all the way back to 23rd after a late battle there at the end of this race, and just a little too much wheel and a little too much throttle, and falls back through the field here. But again, what a great race here! Can't thank the sponsors enough. Flexible Freight Solutions for coming on board and helping out, and all that you guys do with that. Magic and Phil the Hitman Manzo for putting this series on. Everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network, we do truly appreciate it. And all our sponsors, from Jam Printing and Promotions to Gill Insurance Advisors and G2G Trailers and Travis Lee Creative and all the veteran-owned businesses and everything that we get to do and all the different organizations we get to support. And a big thanks to you, Eddie, for coming up into the booth tonight.
Well, Pat, thanks for having me. It's always a good time, man. And this race, this series never disappoints. And so I'm very thankful that you asked me to come up here, and it's always a pleasure, and I always really enjoy it. So thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, and always a blast, man. Always a blast. But as we're in the second half of this season here, and we only got 4 races left to go before the playoffs start. September 10th, we will be at Texas Motor Speedway, so taking off next week for Labor Day weekend. September 17th at Chicagoland, one of my favorite tracks out there. And then on September 24th, we'll be at Talladega. And then the last race before the playoff starts is going to be at Michigan on October the 4th or on October the 1st. So be sure to tune in. For those that tune in on the Goat Locker Racing Network, we do take Saturday off, so no racing tomorrow. But catch us at this very same Speedway in the Rebel Truck Series Sunday night. Should be a lot of fun, as it is one of my favorite tracks, and looking forward to maybe going back-to-back there in the Truck Series. But again, everybody that tunes in, we do truly appreciate it. Everybody have a great Friday evening, and we'll catch you on Sunday.